Hello everyone, Adrienne here. So, unfortunately, due to some time constraints and coming down from a very busy work week last week, trust me, working 8 days in a row is not fun. Really isn't. I didn't have the time in my schedule to do the video I originally wanted to do for National Absinthe Day before the day arrived. I had originally wanted to do a video featuring 2 absinthes from the Delaware Phoenix distillery because the owner of the distillery passed away last year, and I wanted to do something to act as a tribute to her and her 2 absinthes in one video, but as this was my first day off in 8 days, yikes, I don't have the time to devote to this video that I think it deserves. Right this moment, that is. And I also have a voice lesson later on today, so I wanted to make sure that I did something for National Absinthe Day and give the full time, love, energy, and respect to the video featuring the Delaware Phoenix Distillery absinthes. So that will come in the near future, I promise. But for now, we're going to have some fun talking about some absinthe accoutrements. Specifically, the glasses. Glasses are a lot of fun. They really are. And they're really, like the spoons, they're really fun to collect. And I think they're really amazing and they're really beautiful. So in observance of National Absinthe Day, that's what I'm going to be doing today. My collection of glasses isn't huge. I have a couple of pairs of glasses. I have a couple of single glasses, and then I plan on expanding on my collection if I find more that I enjoy. And I tend to favor the PreBanned designs of absinthe glasses, so today I'll be showing off my glass collection and other miscellaneous accoutrements in my collection. So they are of varying sizes and designs, mostly reproductions of the PreBanned era glasses that were available at that time. I will be going through a little bit of their history, significance, and unfortunately I really couldn't find much information as to when they began circulating in the absinthe market, so to speak, and started showing up in absinthe bars, but that's okay. I hope eventually to get my paws on a book that I was advised is going to be like a holy grail of antique absinthe accoutrement information, so hopefully I can get my paws on that soon. So before we continue, I do want to give a shout out to Vamp Jenn's Corner blog, who graciously contacted me for an interview to celebrate National Absinthe Day. I was so happy to have a discussion with her about the history, myths, and facts of absinthe, as well as Gothic literature, goth music, and opera. You can find that interview in the description below, and make sure you check out her other interviews as well. Really top-notch stuff. And again, thank you so much for having me on your blog. Really appreciate it. So if you're interested in trying absinthe and you don't have all the equipment, I know it can be just a little bit intimidating to see all of the accoutrements that go into preparing absinthe, but don't let that discourage you. Just an old-fashioned glass or an 8-ounce glass and a fork will suffice if you don't have an absinthe spoon or glass, just as long as you have a way to measure 1.5 ounces of absinthe for 1 part absinthe and 3 to 5 parts of ice water to make that perfect ratio. You should be perfectly okay. Your decision to buy glasses if you want to is totally up to you. If you wing it in the manner that I described until you decide that absinthe is likable enough to invest in the other accoutrements, no decent absinthe lover is going to judge you for it. Keyword here, decent absinthe lover. The dickheads are going to judge you. Pay them no mind. We all had to start somewhere. However, if your excuse for not drinking absinthe properly is that you don't have the proper equipment and you're choosing to set it on fire or take it in shots, that's on you. But if you're going to be enjoying absinthe, enjoy it the correct way, and you can enjoy it the correct way without all of the fancy accoutrements, so trust me on this. You might also get lucky and find some antiques or reproductions of absinthe glasses in your local antique stores or thrift stores. However, be warned that just because it's a fancy looking glass that isn't necessarily the same shape that you'd associate with a standard wine glass doesn't necessarily mean it's an absinthe glass. I kind of learned that one recently as one of the glasses in my collection that I will show you actually turned out not to be specifically a pre-ban reproduction of an absinthe glass. So on that note, I also wanted to thank Cary René Bonnecaze, who has been a wonderful resource for helping me put together the historical aspects of this video. Monsieur Bonnecaze is the owner of Maison Absinthe, where I get a lot of my absinthe accoutrement, and his wealth of knowledge in helping me make this video has been absolutely instrumental. Like, it is such a huge help. He has a lot of expertise in reproducing a lot of pre-banned absinthe glass designs, so you can find a lot of those on Maison Absinthe's website. So in sharing the historical aspects of absinthe, I'm really hoping that people will realize how big of a deal absinthe was in the 19th century. Everyone was drinking it. It's not just the eccentric and edgy artists hiding in like really seedy cafes, praying for hallucinations to inspire them in their next artistic, like edgy out there work. It's not like that at all. Like, sure, you know, there were probably places like that, absolutely, but absinthe was for everyone. Everyone was drinking absinthe. It was the most popular drink in the Western world. And again, everyone was drinking it. And no, of course they didn't hallucinate, and no, us absinthe lovers are not lying to you about absinthe not being hallucinogenic. Some people have this weird conspiracy theory that us absinthe lovers and absinthe advocates are lying about it not being hallucinogenic for some reason. But let's get into the glasses that I have in my collection, and I have a couple of other pieces to show off as well. So let's start with the oldest of the designs, and this particular design of absinthe glass came before the pre-ban era, or before absinthe kind of came to be a popular thing. So this was made, or rather produced originally in late 18th century France, and is known as the Versailles glass, and it has really pretty kind of seashell detailing and really floral detailing. It's so pretty. It does have a little bit of some cut glass like detail work along the bottom here where you can measure your pour for absinthe. However, I have a feeling that this was added for the absinthe glass reproductions so that people could measure out their absinthe properly. So yeah, this is not an absinthe glass. I was advised by Monsieur Bonnecaze that it is not an absinthe glass. It was really just a fancy wine goblet. But nevertheless, it has the proper measurement for absinthe. It's really pretty, and I just really like having it in my collection, and I like things that have kind of a Versailles and, you know, like old world Baroque kind of feel. It's really gorgeous. And I love anything with a seashell motif, let's be honest. So the glass that is probably most recognizable in my collection is going to be this one, and this is one of the 2 or 3 different versions of the Pontarlier glass, and it is definitely known as the most popular and probably the most identifiable absinthe glass from the pre-ban era. It was made famous in the late 19th century due to being featured in a Père Noël advertisement, originally painted by Charles Mer. And the painting was produced en masse and distributed to bars and bistros throughout France and other parts of Europe. The print featured a newspaper from Pontarlier, France, which is the small French town where Père Noël was made. The city is considered the birthplace of absinthe in France and has become home to many of the most prominent absinthe distillers of today, because it's the French birthplace of absinthe, let's be honest. So yes, I really love the Pontarlier glass. It's really sturdy, really nice and thick, really lovely. And you can get these on maisonabsinthe.com if you are, you know, interested. Really gorgeous, really sturdy. I'm almost never afraid to break these, but nevertheless, I'm still going to treat them very, very carefully. But yeah, they're just really classy, really sturdy, really beautiful, really shiny. I take a lot of pride in my glasses, okay? So another really commonly found glass you are going to see among pre-ban absinthe glass designs is going to be the torsade glass. And I mean, just look at this thing. It's so elongated and beautiful, and I really love the cuts right here. It's just stunning. And then when you twirl it, it just has a really, really interesting effect. I don't know if it's catching on camera, but it's just mesmerizing. It really is. So its unique and easily recognizable twisted shape is where the absinthe is held. So about right here is where you would end the pour for this one, and it's a little bit bigger than a lot of the other absinthe glasses I have in my collection, but the standard is usually 1.5 ounces for your absinthe pour, but some designs will have a little bit more or a little bit less. This is definitely a little bit more. And the word torsade in French means twisted, so that's where you kind of get its name from. It's really gorgeous. It's just so pretty. I love it. So these were among the thickest of all of the absinthe glasses that were out there, and were definitely considered the workhorse for most bars. So really sturdy, again, really beautiful, not going anywhere. Really kind of elongated, really elegant. I usually use these if I want like a little bit of a stronger like absinthe drink, if I'm having absinthe recreationally. It's just so pretty. Like, how can you not like this? This is really pretty. I think I've had this for like 1 or 2 more reviews. And if there are any glasses among my collection here that you guys would really like to see an absinthe video, like an absinthe review prepared with, please let me know. If I have a full like bottle of an absinthe, I'm probably gonna go more in favor of this because of the bigger pour that it has. But if it's from a sample that I received from someone else, I'm going to try and conserve it as much as possible and use an absinthe glass that has a smaller serving. So just something to keep in mind. So moving on to the last of my pre-ban absinthe reproduction designs. If the absinthe goddess was ever so generous to gift me with any absinthe antiques, I would be more devoted than I already am. No, for real though, I think that would be amazing if I ever got my paws on an antique absinthe glass or anything like that. That would be so cool. Anyway, so this is the Coup Glass, and because of its shape kind of reminiscent of like a champagne glass, apparently it is very commonly mistaken for a champagne glass, but because once again of how nice and sturdy it is, and how there's a very specific reservoir where you can measure out your portion of absinthe before adding water, you know, it makes sense that this would be used for absinthe, of course. But yeah, again, really, really pretty. And I kind of got this glass as a companion to one of my other accessories. So this is my glass Bouillo, and this kind of acts as a 2-part or a 2-piece glass. So in this reservoir up here, you would have the ice cold water that would very slowly drip into this coupe glass here. So that is the purpose of this set as a whole. It's really pretty. And you notice how the cuts on the Bouillo right here kind of match up with the cuts down here. So this is something that I have seen in some photographs, but unfortunately I haven't been able to relocate those photographs. But if I do happen to see them in like pre-ban photographs of people enjoying absinthe, then I will share them in this video. But yeah, it's a 2-piece glass, really pretty. And this is a really good option for people who don't want to invest in a fountain. Just kind of throwing that out there. And if you don't want a glass Bouillo, you can also get a metal one. Not quite as pretty, kind of a little bit more flat, but they serve essentially the same purpose. But this glass one does have a little bit more of a slow drip. So both of these tools were definitely used for preparing absinthe in the pre-ban era. And a lot like this one, this kind of like metal tray style Bouillo, these were kind of made as like advertising for a lot of absinthe brands. Like they would also make accessories, absinthe spoons, they would make glasses with their brand name on it. Really, really cool. So they would do the same thing with like metal Bouillos, and whatnot. And then another toy that I did get recently I'm really excited about is a carafe. So this is another really nice thing to invest in if you decide that a fountain isn't for you, because these are a lot cheaper. It's just that you do require a little bit more manual control over it as opposed to just letting the fountain do the work, but that's, again, totally up to you. So this one is really cool. This was an advertisement for Émile Robert. I'm guessing that they made absinthes and some wines and then some flavored syrups as well. So, you know, a distillery doesn't make just one thing, of course. So again, like, brands would slap their name on certain absinthe accessories to kind of sell their product and get the name out there. Pretty cool. So yeah, not really much to say about this one. It's good if you want to prepare your absinthe Dracula style. But again, make sure that your absinthe is ice cold. Super important. Trust me on this. And now moving on to the two more modern absinthe glasses or glassware in my collection. So my favorite one of these two is going to be my new bubble glass. If you guys follow me on TikTok, you will have seen this already. Now, the bubble glasses seem to have been in circulation since the beginning of the 21st century, since absinthe has been making a comeback. So obviously the bubble is used to measure the portion of absinthe, and then water is very slowly dispersed into the glass, and then it very slowly mixes in really pretty tendrils and swirls and wisps until the absinthe and the water are thoroughly mixed. So this is really beautiful. I did make a slow-mo TikTok with this. Again, if you want to see more of my absinthe accessories kind of in action, you can definitely see that on TikTok, especially if you like slow motion, because it's awesome. I love seeing the absinthe preparation in slow motion, and this glass really does allow for that. It's just really lovely. However, I will say the downside of this is that this is a pain in the ass to clean. Not so much a pain in the ass to clean, but a pain in the ass to dry. Because I did consult a friend of mine for tips on how to clean this thoroughly and make sure that you're getting out as much moisture as you can so you're not getting any unsightly like water droplet stains on the bubble part. And he's just like, yeah, I kind of just do this over and over again until like all of the water droplets come out, and then just kind of let it air dry. So this is a pain in the ass to clean, but it's beautiful. It's definitely more for show than functional. I will say, like, the pre-banned absinthe glasses that I have, like the designs that I have, are a lot more functional. This, not so much. This is definitely more for show, but it doesn't stop me from liking it. It's really awesome to see, like, a high quality absinthe being prepared with a bubble glass like this, because you can see that slow, beautiful transformation from crystal clear to completely milky white opalescent or jade opalescent. So pretty. I love it. And then the last one in my collection is the Slipstream absinthe pipe. And I did make a review on these in the past. I got a set of 2, and I was very generously sent these by the owner of Slipstream Absinthe. So yes, I'm really, really appreciative of him doing that, even though this isn't necessarily something that I would have sought out myself. And like I said in my review, these do look a little bit like bongs, I'm not gonna lie. And okay, I'm not kidding about this. This is totally ridiculous, but I did post a TikTok of me preparing absinthe with one of these, actually 2 of these, because I used a white absinthe on one side and then a Vamp on the other to demonstrate how these look with each kind of absinthe. And TikTok temporarily banned it for showing a banned or illicit substance, and I'm just like, this sucks, dude. So that really pissed me off. That really, really annoyed me. And, you know, I appealed it and I said, hey, absinthe has been not banned for over a decade. Please get over it. And I don't know if they thought maybe it looked like too much like a bong and so they thought it was marijuana related, but nevertheless, it pissed me off. So that was apparently my second strike with TikTok. The first strike being for adult nudity for wearing lounge shorts in one of my absinthe cocktail TikToks. So that was my second strike with TikTok. So that was annoying. But yeah, this was an illicit substance, and that's why they temporarily banned that video. So that was dumb. That was really, really dumb. I will say with this one, again, as far as cleaning is concerned, these are really a pain in the ass to clean. I would say between like the bubble glass and the Slipstream glass, the bubble glass is actually easier to clean than this one because I cannot for the life of me get in there properly in order to clean this. And yes, the straws do come out, but even still, trying to get every last little droplet of moisture out of this one is a lot harder than doing it with this one, oddly enough. So these two are a pain in the ass to clean. They're definitely more for show than they are for functionality, but nevertheless, you know, they're cute. They're cool looking. I like having them in my collection. And again, I'm really grateful to the owner who sent these to me. Very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. So everyone, thank you so much for watching this video for National Absinthe Day. Yes, it's National Absinthe Day. So exciting. Yes, so again, today is indeed National Absinthe Day. So again, I've said this in my previous video about National Absinthe Day. It's not that someone just like, you know, went blindfolded face to face with a calendar and then like threw a dart on a day and decided to call it National Absinthe Day. No, it actually does have some significance. National Absinthe Day is the day that the absinthe ban was lifted in the United States. So that's a very, very exciting day for absinthe lovers in the United States because we are able to enjoy the spirit again after almost 100 years that it was banned. Pretty exciting stuff. But yes, I'm probably going to be having a glass of absinthe today, or at least on the day where this actually goes up for National Absinthe Day to celebrate. I'm probably going to have a jade. I might even have the jade that my husband and I served at our wedding, the Jade Nouvelle Orléans. Oh, so good. And please, please, please do not forget to check out Vamp Jenn's Corner blog so you can read my interview with her where we talk about absinthe, and we also talk about the goth subculture and gothic literature and opera. It's a lot of fun, and the emphasis is mostly on absinthe since that's the main reason why she chose me to be on the blog on that certain day, was because she wanted to commemorate National Absinthe Day with me. Just like, wow, who would have thought that me doing absinthe reviews on my YouTube channel several years ago would lead to everything that it's led to. That's amazing. Wow. But of course, I wouldn't have gotten here without all you guys and your support, because without all of that, I wouldn't have the wonderful relationships that I do. I wouldn't be on the advisory board of the Wormwood Society now. I wouldn't even, in my wildest dreams, think that, you know, Ted Bro, the man, the myth, the legend himself, would give me the time of day. So again, guys, thank you so much. You are the whole reason why all of this was possible. And with that being said, again, happy National Absinthe Day. Please drink absinthe responsibly. I'm begging you. Don't be dumb with it. Please. And make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and you will see more videos on absinthe and gothic literature and goth music and opera and a couple of other miscellaneous things, you know, depending on what comes up. And thank you so much to my patrons for your support every month. I really, really appreciate it. I couldn't do this without you, and your support every month really, really, really does help. And to everyone, I love you, and I will see you guys later. Bye!